waiting for the mansion to open, and I walked down here. Let's see, the Acadians in Maryland. So during the French and Indian War, the British expelled some 11,500 Acadians from the Canadian Maritimes, dispensing them along North American colonies and into France. Some 900 exiles arrived in Maryland in November of 1755, and they were settled around the Chesapeake, places such as Baltimore, Port Tobacco, Oxford, and Princess Anne. That's where we're at right now. So, kind of interesting. And if you can see, the mansion's down there. Opens up in about 15 minutes. Yeah, so I'm at TEACKLE Mansion. I'm down here in Princess Anne, Maryland. That would be in Somerset County. Quick history. Construction began, let's see, 1802. Took 17 years to build, so it was completed 1819. And it was lived in by a guy named Littleton Dennis TEACKLE and his wife Elizabeth. He moved here to Princess Anne a year prior, 1801. He was the postmaster of the area, and he was also a merchant. He owned several ships, and he had a mercantile shop across the bay in Baltimore. So this is his place. So he and his wife owned the place until the 1840s. They died. It was passed on to their only child, their daughter. After that, she sold it, and yeah, after that, it passed through several different hands. And I think I just missed the first tour, so I've got a little wait. Okay, just finished the tour, and very thorough. They didn't really want me filming. I filmed the front room, which is probably the nicest room, and then they asked me to stop. You'll see the little window up there. That design's supposed to represent a dogwood, and this architecture is described as neoclassical. And you'll notice this has got a very similar design to the Kerr place where I was at recently. And it's got the little pediment sticking out with the 3 bays. And it was originally 9 acres, and it extended to the, I don't know if you can pick it up with the GoPro, to a little house there on the left. That was the gatekeeper's house with all the glass windows. And yeah, it originally it was just the front house, and I don't know if you can see, there's a white line to the left and to the right on the bricks between the 4 windows. It stopped right there, and there was a portico coming off of each side. And it took him 17 years to build it, pretty much because he kept running out of money. And yeah, he was kind of he kind of got mixed up in a lot of different trades. And kind of not, I guess, a very successful businessman. He died poor, and he died actually in some sort of hotel room up in Baltimore. He made it until 1850. Some documentation might say 1848, but they said it was 1850. And I know at one time he sold lumber to the war effort for the War of 1812. He had a sawmill back on the river is back behind this. It kind of wraps around. Yeah, they had about 20 to 30 slaves, and they had to sell them off as they, I guess, became low on money. Also, at one time, he was in debtor's prison, just for a few days, though. To keep this place running at different times, he would rent out different portions of the house to different family members. I think they said he had to borrow money from his father at one time. His wife died 1836. She came from money, and her sister lived in the plantation out on the eastern shore. It's called Ayers Place. It's got a pitched roof on the other side with these little colonnades, and a lot more impressive on the back side. And this dependency over here was a combination. They said the front half was, they called it a buttery, but it was basically a dairy. They kept all the milk and butter and creams. And then the back half was a laundry, which is kind of weird because the front half they would have wanted to keep cool. And yeah, the back half would have been warm. So, yeah, pretty impressive place. Like I say, he died 1850. The 1840s, the daughter took over. She eventually sold the house, and then it passed out of family hands. And eventually, in the 1930s, this became an apartment. There were 6 rooms. It was chopped up, and there were apartments all the way until the 1960s. So, yeah. And there's another historic house back there. It was built in the mid 1800s. And a little memorial back here. Oh, and I'm standing under a big pecan tree. Still got it furnished a little bit in there. Oh, and they're restoring the hinges. And there's little keystones up there. Actually, they aren't stone; they're actually wood. Alright, so I think that's all the information I have on this place. So I'm going to go ahead and fly my drone and get out of here. So I'll see you.